I have to break my promise to read only poetry because I decided to read for you one of my short stories. In this story, I also wrote a song ballad, and so The Girl and the Dragon, or Story of Broken Hearts.
The mighty ocean is full of magical powers. What it carries, what it hides in itself, no one knows. Dragon, a longtime resident of its vast expanses, he loves and has feelings of love return. Pure young creatures give him their hearts. Granted, taking them into his arms, mingling with them in unison. The dragon once again craves passion and the exciting quiver and sensations of love. The small town was on the ocean shore. Every morning a beautiful girl came to admire the raging waves of its boundless expanses. Standing on the edge of the cliff, she looked upon the elements. The wind caressed her face, and her thick tresses of brown hair twisted, curly, and pierced by the sun's beams. At once, in the sparkling foam of waves, a dragon appeared. Swaying on a long, powerful neck, his small head stretched up. Stretched to the young beauty, bewitching, captivated by its own consciousness and will. Intently staring into the abyss of the ocean, it occurs to the girl that it's a dragon's head. She notices that the dragon sees her, and he is silently calling in her thoughts, suffering from a yearning to be beside her. Afraid to trust her own eyes, she looks out of disbelief. She looked again at the head rising from the water. She turned her head away. The girl hurried back to the place where, not so long ago, she stood on the edge of the cliff, light-hearted and open to the sun and wind. The next morning, she again went to the edge of the cliff, and again, in the sparkling foam of the waves, appeared a dragon's head. The dragon, drawn to the young beauty, called her to him. After a moment, above the water's surface, appeared a second head, and then a third. The dragon, withering and raging waves of the ocean, called, tormented by the passion of his desire. Something exciting, fascinating, and defying good reason was in his silent appeal. As before, each morning the young, beautiful woman came to the precipice, but now she was going to meet the dragon. She was obeying an unexplicable, enthralling force. She no longer belonged to herself. The girl hurried to meet again he who took possession of her mind, soul, and heart. She knows he is waiting for her. As soon as she appeared on the precipice, the dragon appeared in the waves of the ocean. His head swaying steadily on long necks looks up at her. He loves me. He seeks me. He is calling. If he lacks the power to reach me, be near me, I can go to him to be together, she decided at once. Her heartbeat increased. Her breathing interrupted. Unconscious of thought, not thinking about the past, the future, nor the feeling of her own self in this world. With a cry of despair and hopelessness grief, she jumped down. Dragon's body bent like a ring. Taking her in his arms, she felt calm, dissolving there, embodied in his flesh and blood. A few minutes later, she was gone. On the ridge of the dragon that is covered with spikes appeared another sharp projection, which sprouted as a symbol of the memory of her faithful, eternal love. Soon after, a storm started to rage. Rain poured down. The wind swept everything away in its path, lifting foaming waves into the skies. With all his might, Dragon did everything to escape, resisting the elements, but this time he did not succeed. Wind scattered and separated in different directions around the world. Dragons' heads on long necks. The lifeless body pounded with convulsions and died. It petrified and transformed into a rock. The storm subsided after a few days. It appeared as like nothing ever happened. Boundless expanses feasting the eye. There was no more girl. No more dragon. Only a bent piece of gray rock with spikes on its surface that rose from the water as a perpetual reminder of first love. Pure and innocent, girlish, broken